Hello and welcome back to Might and Magic 3 Isles of Terra. So, for this episode, the plan is going to be we're first going to go and hit the guild and buy some spells, and then after that, we're going to head down, finish up clearing out the Fountainhead sewers, and hopefully have time to make it to Baywatch. And yeah, so we're off on a bit of an adventure here. And all I did off camera, actually I didn't do it off camera because I started recording and then realized, oh, oops, I forgot to actually have my sound set up, so oops. Anyhow, something I discovered is a lander can actually wear the coral breastplate. So that is a pretty significant boost. The coral breastplate is AC 7, whereas the chainmail is AC 5. So 2-point boost to AC there. And then the other thing is I want to give her that round shield. And then I'm going to give the health buckler to Septimus. And the other round shield to Renar. And we'll just dump all this onto all the excess stuff that we're going to sell onto Alandra, so that when I make it back to sell more gear, I'll be able to do that. Kill ourselves a goblin, kill ourselves a bubble man, pop into the guild. A wall of stone rumbles open to reveal the glowing eyes of the guardian. Do you wish to peruse our spells? Yes, yes I do. Okay, so when you are buying spells, as a general rule, you want to pay for spells for your sorcerer and your cleric and your druid if for some god-awful reason you've decided to bring one of them along, because they're primary spellcasters. So if I go into buy spells here, you can see Energy Blast is a spell that Gendora can cast, or can learn, that does 4 to 9 energy damage per level of the caster. So because she's level 5 right now, it will do 20 to 45 damage. And it costs 500 gold. So we're going to buy that. Now, if I exit out of her and I go over to Septimus, my samurai, you'll see that Energy Blast for him costs 1,000 gold. So secondary spellcasters, the paladin, the ranger, and the samurai all pay double what these guys pay. You will find scrolls and stuff like that throughout the world. So generally speaking, you give the scrolls to those guys, and these guys get the you pay to play with them. So other spells we're going to want to get. Conflagrate is one that is added by the mod. This is a great sweeper spell. This is good for doing large amounts of damage to low-level creatures. It hits a group of foes for 40 points of fire damage. Really straightforward. Just blasts a whole slew of them. Great spell. It's fairly cheap too. It's 8 mana and 2 gems, I believe, for a consistent 40 damage to a group is fantastic. The other thing to keep in mind with spells like Energy Blast is it costs 1 spell point per level. So because she's level 5 right now, it costs 5 spell points to cast it. Not that big of a deal with something like Energy Blast, and Energy Blast stays useful through the entire game because of that. It scales up in damage, and it stays quite cheap. But some of the ones, like Fireball and things like that, can get very expensive quite quickly. So, something to keep in mind. Other spells I want to get, I want to make sure I pick up Create Rope. I want to make sure I pick up Jump. I want to make sure I pick up Acid Stream, Levitate, and Wizard's Eye. Not going to bother with Identify Monster, because it really doesn't give you very much information. It wastes a turn, and yeah. So for Alandra, we're going to buy Cure Wounds. Turn Undead is a wonderful spell. It does huge amounts of damage to undead, but only undead. Sparks and Pain. So this does 12 points of physical damage. You compare that to something like Conflagration that does 40 points of damage. They both do damage to a group, but I would rather be spending my spell points for a priest on healing than trying to do damage. It's the same deal with Sparks. Sparks, I believe, does 1 or 2 points of damage per character level, so it would do like 10 points of damage to a group of enemies. So no thank you. Cure Poison and Cure Disease, on the other hand, are absolutely essential, as is Protection from Elements. So I'm going to leave those. Revitalize just cures weakness, which I think one of my other characters has anyhow, and weakness doesn't come up all that often, and it's not terribly debilitating. So, we still got 4,000 gold to spend, so let's clean up some other stuff as well. I would like to get Cure Wounds for Katrina. Just having a second healer is useful. I'd also like to get Turn Undead for Katrina. And I think that's all I'm going to worry about with her for now. For Renar, we are going to maybe get him nothing. No, nothing for Renar. You can see here, he's a ranger, so he's got a combination of both cleric and magic user spells. But kind of the bad ones from both. The reason to keep a nature magic user around is because there's a few very specific nature spells that only they can cast. For the most part, their other stuff isn't really worth it. So I'm not going to bother with anything for Renar. Maybe I'll get him light. Now, for Septimus, for him, I'm going to get Conflagrate, because it can be really useful to wipe out a group of enemies. And I'm going to get him... Do I want to get him Energy Blast? I think I will. Pick up Energy Blast for him as well. So now we're poor, but that will change. So let's exit out. And just to show you the effect of some of these spells here, this is Conflagrate. I mean, to be fair, Bubblemen are pretty much the weakest enemies in the game, but you still get the idea. Next up, if you remember in the last episode, we got to that head that we couldn't get past. But it also said that there was another clue that said, let me just check here. Where is it? Cranion holds the password. 5 skulls will make it known. So, if we want to figure out the password, we go to Cranion, the creepy dude who wants us to collect the skulls.
Ah, now I can finish me shrine. Blessed by the forces will ya be. Use the password rats in the cavern below, and if you find more skulls, bring them to me for a further reward.
1,000 XP each, times 5 because we brought him 5 skulls.
More lovely skulls. Maybe someday I will unlock the power of their secrets. Don't forget to use rats in the cavern below this town.
And another 1,000 experience. So we get a total of 6,000 gems and 6,000 experience, which is nice. Okay, so let's head down into the caverns. Should still have light and everything like that up. Oh, do we? Oh. Wait, what? That's very strange. Something weird happened there, and a day passed, and I don't know how or why. It's day 6 now. Oh no, it's still... It thinks a day passed. Okay, well, let's cast light. So we don't have the holy bonus up now, which means that some of these things are actually going to be a bit more of a threat. And you can see we're having a much tougher time hitting them, and Renar got poisoned. So I guess we're going through this without a bless. You can see how quickly the poison starts to add up without that. As a matter of fact, we're going to hit them with a Conflagrate, just to... And we're also going to use Jump. So Jump is a spell that lets you skip a square, which now that we are no longer blessed up the wazoo, means that we would actually suffer damage by passing through this. So we're going to jump over it, and then hopefully kill this vampire bat before he poisons us too much. God, go away. Just die already. Come on, somebody hit him. God. And you're low on hit points, so let's do a Cure Wounds on Renar. Yeah, you can see that. So if nothing else, this is evidence for how much of a difference the bless makes. Right? I mean, these guys were no threat whatsoever with a bless up. And now, all of a sudden, they are friggin' terrifying. So we're going to cast Jump. Kill this bat, hopefully. Ugh. Pain in my butt. And we're going to cast Jump again, and the password is rats. Okay, so let's do a bit... Oh, did not mean to cast that. Let's do a bit of healing here. So... Let's see, who's low? Helmuth is low, but he's always low. Heal up Gandora. Everybody else is actually pretty okay on hit points. Do I want to deal with the poison? Don't think there's any other vampire bats around here, but maybe I'll hold off just in case. Come on, somebody kill it. There we go. Cast Cure Wounds on Helmuth again. That's going to be a theme for a while. Okay. Yeah, you can see Helmuth has AC 11 now, which sucks. And going to burn some cure poisons. Some of those guys were getting pretty grody. And at least now we've got Katrina as a secondary healer as well, so... we're just gonna first aid. And you're going to Cure Wounds on Helmuth. I might have to actually rest. I was hoping to be able to do this without a rest in there. It's weird, I wonder what happened to that bless. because a day hasn't passed. It's still day 6, which is what it was when I left the temple. Okay, so we got barrels. Now this barrel is endurance. So we're going to give that to Helmuth because he needs the help. So that bumps him up to an endurance of 23, which is quite a bit better. It doesn't help him in the immediate moment because it doesn't actually give you hit points, it just raises your maximum hit points. Now also keeping in mind, remember, we don't want to go over 29 in endurance or might. So that means each of these guys could take at most one more boost to their endurance. And this one here is another endurance. And we're actually going to give that to Gandora. Again, just the squishy characters need the help more than Katrina, Renar, and Septimus do. So, that's my logic there. Let's actually go back. No, let's go kill the Rat Overlord. So, the Rat Overlord is near. Turn back or perish. Let's bash our way through here. Got cocky casting that Conflagrate. He's got Energy Blast, so I'm going to actually hang on to that. Let's fight these guys the old-fashioned way, hopefully. Cast Cure Wounds. Very low on spell points. Almost would have been worthwhile to turn around and... Ooh, position heal thyself. Oh, God. Almost would have been worth it to go back up to the temple, specifically to get a heal in, or to get that bless back up. Okay, we're cheaping out on healing now. Okay. Okay, so here we have the Overlord. So, I'm going to Energy Blast him, and he just clobbered the snot out of us. So the Rat Overlord is a monster. You're going to Energy Blast as well. You're going to get knocked out. God. Jesus. So, completely out of spell points now. Oh, but we got him. Okay. So, that... It's still so bizarre. Losing that... I'm gonna rest. Like, I don't normally do that here, because I normally have a bless up and nothing hits me. But, yeah, resting is probably a good idea. So... Okay, so gems set in the corners of the chest glow with power. Open the lid? Yes. Helmuth, open the lock, please. Morphos. A gaseous form rises from the chest and hovers in the air before you. I am Morphos, servant of game and protector of Fountainhead. By releasing me from my prison, you have lifted an enduring curse upon this fair town. Accept my reward and heed my advice. Visit the fountain that stands alone. And then we get a bunch of stuff. See if there's anything interesting. Lots of robes, which I'm not terribly thrilled to see. Okay, so the item types are kind of garbage, but acidic maul. So an acidic maul is going to do an extra 2 poison damage. That's a nice little upgrade for Alandra here. And what else do we have? Flickering necklace gives electric resistance. That's kind of useless. Acidic clover rose. So that gives poison resistance and luck, which isn't the worst thing in the world. So we'll remove our plain old leather robes and give her acid robes. A strength wand gives us an additional 3 might. Okay. Oh, I forgot I had that Rod of Aid. I totally could have been using that. Wow, mind you, Helmuth was spending most of that fight unconscious. So the strength wad, or strength rod, gives plus 3 might. And again, because Helmuth can't use a shield, he may as well have something in his offhand, and it makes him a little bit stronger and hit a bit better. Back into the items. Caster's robes. Plus 8 spell points. You know what? Those might actually be better than these acidic clover robes. So we'll just equip those. And a bronze bow staff does 1d3 minus 2 damage. So we're not going to be using that. That's not a great roll on that chest, but not terrible either. And we're already in a fight with moose rats. Oh, take a swing. You can cast light, so now at least we can see what we're doing. Now that we have spell points again, let's set them on fire. Stop picking on Helmuth. Jesus. Okay. And because I did rest, I think I'm going to finish clearing Fountainhead Cavern here. Oh god, Helmuth. Wake up. You're useless. Spend more time unconscious. Take a cure wounds. Set them on fire. Jeez, Gandora doesn't get knocked out as much as you do, and she's a wizard. Wizards are supposed to be tough. I know I'm burning gems casting that, but honestly, gems become very cheap eventually. And given the overall difficulty of doing this dungeon without a bless, I think it's worthwhile. Don't you kill anyone, just acid stream. Okay, so this here is another endurance. So this time I'm going to give it to Gandora. So they're all at above 20 now, which I'm happy with. If I get any more plus 5s, I might give them to them. There's also a little ways along, there's some plus 10s, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to give these two the endurance boost, is because that would bump him up to 29 and it would bump him up to 28. So, rats again. The yellow key grants access to the Fortress of Fear. Don't want to deal with getting poisoned again. So green ooze gurgles in a barrel. Do you wish to dunk and search? This is speed. What do I want to give speed to? I think I want to give speed to... I think I want to give speed to Gandora, because having your mage go first and being able to do like a big damage spell or something like that can be really, really useful. The other strong argument would be for your priest, just to keep hit points up where you want them to be. So maybe I'll actually do it, give it to Gandora, or to Alandra here. Get her that boost to speed. And now that I've completely explored all of everything there... Hi, Goblin. And we're going to cast Jump. That to avoid the trap. And hopefully kill a bat. Oh, nice. We actually killed it before Gandora had to burn spell points. Oh. Apologize, my dog's barking in the background there. And we're just going to acid stream. Good. Of course, everybody gets poisoned, because why wouldn't? Okay. Set them on fire for me, please. Kill the bat first. And, as is tradition, try to heal Helmuth. Try to kill this bat before he poisons somebody else. Or you can poison Helmuth some more, that works too. One last bat. Okay, somebody hit. There we go. Okay, a ladder to Fountainhead. Leave this haven of night prowlers? Yes, I will, thank you. And fight another moose rat. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we are at the 30-minute mark now. So I think I'm probably going to put a cut in here, and the trip to Baywatch will have to come in the next episode. What time is it in game? It is 12 in the afternoon, so we're actually going to go... back here, trade in our skulls, get another 4 grand. So we are now up to 12,000 gold. And we are going to go and dump it all in the bank. Still don't have 100 gems to deposit though, which is sad. So, I think maybe what I'll do next episode then is I'll take you guys on a tour of Fountainhead now that we have recovered or saved Morphos and lifted the curse. Basically all these fountains now talk to you instead of just being green goo. But maybe what I'll do before that is we're going to cure poison on everybody. And I will go grab a bless. But since we're here anyhow, well, I'll just stop. I'll pause it here for now, and then yeah, next episode we'll pick up from having left the bank. So until next time, cheers.